want to go sleep. It's like, I really passed out on the couch. Like, I was so happy nobody else was there. I was like that. And then, for just 2 minutes, I like that first over.
Are you admitting to falling asleep during one of the great test matches?
And then Marcus Harris was on strike. Yes, I passed out, did not fall asleep.
Hello and welcome to the... You always look like you're really frightened when I say
No,
that.
because it comes. I always wait for it. Like, and I like preempt it. I was like, no, and then it always comes at the wrong time. You start on a half beat.
Hello and welcome to The Good, the Bad and the Ridiculous. At Panwadi nominates Good, the delivery from Hazelwood, bad the way Pujara played it, ridiculous the way Pujara played it and got out for the 5th time in this series. How many times during this series have you sort of seen that and gone, yeah, there's not much you can do about that really, it's such a good ball. They've targeted who they think is a real danger batter, and then the bowlers have lifted themselves to the occasion to find that ball to bowl them out. And I feel like that's really what's happened with Pujara.
Also, yeah, I mean, that is true. He's been bowled some of the best balls of the series. He's got out to them. But it's also something technical. If you see, every time he's got him out, Hazelwood has come wide of the crease, got the ball to angle and straighten. And it's something which he's been really getting bothered by in the nets. Pujara, I remember after the Adelaide Oval Test, he was in the MCG nets. He had Vikram Rathore, the batting coach, with the wanger or the sidearm, as it should be called.
I like Wanger. Wanger. Sounds good.
Only
Wanger.
the Langer's using it.
Wanger.
Vikram Rathore was the wanger, doesn't sound right, I think. But yeah, so Vikram Rathore was with the sidearm, and he kept telling Vikram Rathore, like, can you come slightly wide of the crease, get the ball, like, the angle in and straighten. Because if you think about it, even when he got bowled in the last innings, that's exactly the ball. And Pujara will have a second innings, unless, of course, the openers knock off the 80 runs, which is what I think India will need tomorrow. They're winning tomorrow in 4-day test. But notice where his back foot is. It's very much on off stump. He's really thinking about it. So it's a great plan. It's worked. And just go back and look at all the Pujara dismissals to Hazelwood. It's a plan. He comes wide. He comes straight, his release points, and then finally that ball. And
Nothing escapes this man. Nothing escapes him.
oh, who you mean, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Hazelwood. Oh, yeah, nothing escapes me. Yeah, of course.
At DJ Reads 2 nominates Good, Washardul. Washardul. I like that. I like that.
Washardul.
It's way better than Smalley, let's face it, which we were hearing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which we were hearing in Adelaide. I'd much rather go with Washardul. Washardul. Yeah?
Washardul. That's actually nice, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just put it down in another one of the things that no one expected in this series. You could never have predicted that. I mean, you possibly could have if you'd known a bit about them, like you do,
Yeah.
that they could bat. But
You didn't expect them to be batting at the Gabba firstly to start with.
yeah, saving the test, putting India in possibly a match-winning position. This is just the most stupid movie script that's ever been written. This is stupid.
It is.
This would never get off the ground.
I think it's written by some... You know what we get accused of a lot on the show, me especially in the comments, I think it's been written by someone who's been doing that. Yeah, someone's been smoking a nice... I'm telling you, otherwise this series could not be going the way it is. You know,
Yeah.
I think most scripts should be written by people who, you know...
Yeah. This series is high, officially high.
It is. This series is high. Absolutely, yeah. Forget about the fact that they had played 50 test matches. They just looked like they were in their respective home grounds and they were facing some very, ordinary Ranji Trophy attack. It looked like that.
I know he gets a lot of criticism, but Ravi Shastri, I think, deserves a huge amount of credit because they've come in, they've had no fear. There's obviously a real self-belief, and not just that, there's faith in their teammates. Like, all of those things I think are really impressive, and I think Ravi Shastri really deserves a lot of praise for that.
Yeah, and Shardul Thakur actually said it in the Zoom call right now. He said that Ravi Shastri, I remember before the ODI series, when the tour was starting, he said, if you do well on this tour, you'll be famous, young man. And that's what Shardul Thakur has done. That's what Washington Sundar has done. That's what Hanuma Vihari did in the last test. That's what Rishabh Pant has been doing. They're going out there to be famous, and...
Yeah, I think you would have said it with more gusto than that.
You want me to do it, Ravi
Yes.
Shastri? Young man, if you perform here, You'll go back home famous, is what he would have said. That's the most best I can come up with right now.
Not bad.
It's 70% Ravi Shastri.
6 out of 10.
Oh,
Aditya Ananth nominates Ridiculous, that blistering cover drive by Shardul off Stark. Oliver Jones nominates Shardul Thakur's 6 to get to 50, laughably ridiculous and beyond comprehension. And at Amit Chakravarti nominates ridiculously good Washington's no-look 6. Boom! Boom! I mean, you were spoiled for ridiculous shots. And they kept getting more ridiculous. I didn't think you could see a more ridiculous one. That's what was so completely nonsensical about today. But that one, that no-look 6, right? That no-look 6. The last time, it wasn't the same. It wasn't quite as out there. But the last time I remember going, well, that's just nonsense, was when Ben Stokes reverse swept Nathan Lyon at Headingley during that test. I'm lost for words to describe how crazy it all was.
yeah, I'm just glad I'm not describing those shots in print, seriously. But there was also that shot that Shardul Thakur played of Pat Cummins on the up, very calypso, West Indian style. It was, and like, if you followed Shardul Thakur's career, he has a lot of ability with the bat and a lot of hitting ability. He got off the mark with a 6 today, you saw. And that 6 of Nathan Lyon, well, I'm sure a lot of our listeners will know this, Mel. The first time we heard of the name Shardul Thakur was in 2006 when he hit 6 sixes in an over.
Yes.
So that's when Mumbai heard about him for the first time. So no surprise with the 6 hitting, but some of those shots, the one of Stark was just stand and deliver. And poor Nathan Lyon. He seems to be the bowler whenever someone hits a ridiculous shot. Ben Stokes, you said, and now Washington Sundar. Nathan Lyon's not having a very good 100 test match, is he? You can see it in his face that throw, he aimed it at Washington, which
was a bit petty.
It was very petty.
That look, was it after that 6 when he
looks could kill?
That was a pretty mean look. They looked like they're out of gas, the Australian bowlers, and we may very well be seeing right now the effects of them spending 4 sessions out in the field in Sydney with this back-to-back test. But they're going to have to come up with something even late in the day when Mitchell Stark was being asked to bowl that barrage of short bowling, and you were thinking, man, what's this taking out of them? It's, I think, taking a lot out of the, supposedly number 1 bowling attack in the world, which they probably still are, but, they're being tested.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it the other day, right? They are a 9 out of 10 bowling attack, but they've been performing as a 6 out of 10 bowling attack. The Indians have had a lot to do with it because of how well they've played, the courage and all that.
Yep.
But the pitches, yes, the Gabba is the Gabba. It's always been a great batting wicket. And
if you get in.
If you get in. And the second new ball was funny, right? You had still number 7 and 8. You could hear Tim Payne keep saying it when Nathan Lyon was bowling. It's just 7, 8 and 8 boys. It's just 7 and 8 boys. But they had no effect on those two. And this was like Cummins and Hazelwood taking the second new ball. And it just didn't seem to have any effect on them. Australia are running out of gas. If I was South Africa, I would really hope that tour happens. And I'm being serious because these guys are really running on 0, and if they have to do this all over again, take 10 wickets, I don't know. It'll be quite an effort by them against this resilient Indian team.
At Jim Cotton He-Man nominates as bad Rahane after 2 streaky, stupid shots between gully and slips. He gets out playing a third. He was lucky he wasn't out earlier, really, for Mitchell Stark. Maybe that sort of took a bit of the wind out of Stark's sails as well, because, dropped catch today, a couple of those streaky things. Wherever Australia put their slips and gullies always seem to be in the wrong spot. It's like they're chasing it in the end.
And with Rahane, I think, again, Australia missed the trick because every time they bowled that length to Rahane, not just Stark, even a couple of times, Hazelwood and Cummins, he was reaching for the ball. He looked very anxious today with the bat, Rahane, and they really missed the trick, especially after Stark got the edge twice. They let him settle down. They could have got him early. And, I don't know what it was with Rahane. He just looked very handsy, and he was just a matter of time before he was going to get out.
At Cricket with Ash nominates as ridiculous the Siraj over the keeper shot and assuming responsibility of a senior batsman with a number 11. I just thought I'd throw that in because we haven't talked enough about stupidly nonsensical, ridiculous shots. It was at times it was almost like shades of T20. You know, the Spiceman, Andre Fletcher, that was getting a big look in today. That ramp shot, perfectly watched, by the way, his eyes all the way as he went.
This whole Spiceman business that Andre Fletcher seems to be getting away with. Washington Sundar, South Indian food, loves his chicken biryani and his chakra pongal and all that. He's the original Spiceman after that shot. South Indian Spiceman is what I'm going to call him. There you go, yeah.
Okay.
And
Is that like a Gobi 65?
yeah.
65 spices?
65 spices.
Right.
And Washington Sundar has all of them in him or in his batting.
At Akshay Subraman nominates ridiculous Payne's review decisions and baffling tactics today. He let Green bowl to Mayank when he came out to play under pressure.
Let him in. Like he literally, Mayank Agarwal, like with demons in his head, if not demons, at least a lot of doubts, lost his place in the side, coming in at number 5. He struggled against all the Australian seamers. What does Tim Payne do? Throws the ball to Cameron Green, and he just literally played him in at that end, because at the other end Mayank was getting beaten, getting squared up. He looked okay, but there were a few balls that he didn't look comfortable with. And at this end, Green was exactly who he wanted to face. He's okay, he bowls 140, back of a length, couple of full balls that he drove, he middled everything. And those 38 runs could come back to bite Australia. And Tim Payne,
he didn't have a good day again. This was like not a good day captaincy-wise with some of the decisions.
And
the drop catch. And also...
Oh, the DRS. So it's...
Yeah. There were shades of desperation late in the innings as well.
The desperation review system.
Yes.
I can't believe nobody thought of that before. See, for the longest time, India played without DRS, right? Because they didn't trust it. I think Australia should play without DRS because they shouldn't trust themselves with it. How about that? I think that's my call. The one that they reviewed late in the day of Navdeep Saini, where Matthew Wade said, no, it didn't hit his shoulder. Shoulder was far away. His shoulder was far away, Wady, but so were his gloves, so was his bat, so was Navdeep Saini. It was just a very weird review.
Well, there was the Manas massive appeal earlier in the day as well. So maybe Tim Payne isn't being helped by it's his responsibility in the end. But they were perhaps all getting a little bit excited and a little bit desperate.
Desperate indeed. Desperation review system.
At Sunny nominates for ridiculous. Indian lower order showing more application than the top order. Who could have seen that coming?
Teams say, we have plans for everyone. Yeah. There's no way Australia had planned for Washington Sundar and Shardul Thakur.
This is what, you scoffed at me when I said India were playing 5D chess. Hey, I think we're discussing, 5D chess, and maybe I was the only one to spot it. 5D chess by you in writing a story about Washington Sundar and putting it out today.
Good for the day. Yeah.
Go read it on CricBuzz. It's very good. What was the goodest thing about the day?
Do I need to even mention it?
No.
Shardul Thakur and Washington Sundar batting like they've not just been playing Test cricket for the longest time, batting like they were batting against some Plate Division Ranji Trophy attack.
Ooh, shots fired. Right. What was the baddest thing about today?
As much as I love Tim Payne as captains, he was all over the place today, especially that Cam Green thing. I just can't get over it. It wasn't 1 over. Initially, I was going to give him the benefit of doubt. I thought maybe Nathan Lyon's just swapping ends. But yeah, it was his captaincy. Also, with the way the bowlers bowled, the lengths were really bad. I think Australia had a very bad day with the ball today.
And the ridiculousest thing for today, there are lots of things to choose from.
Oh, yes, there are. Which one do we pick? I'm going to let you pick it.
The most ridiculous thing about today was the fact that you spotted Michael Neser clapping Washington Sundar. And so on a day when you have all of these crazy shots being played, Australia having a bad day, India having a brilliant day, this whole series being massively high, the fact that you, Bharat Sundaresan, could still find a way to tweet about Michael Neser in a complimentary way is definitely the most ridiculous thing of today.
Hashtag Neser must play. Hashtag Neser will clap.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for more nonsense. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. And sleep well. Sleep well.